It all started on a quiet Sunday morning at our sprawling ranch. I had just stepped out to feed the animals when I noticed a peculiar sight. HOA Karen, the notorious neighbor with a penchant for overstepping boundaries, was striding across my property with that self-righteous glare she reserves for law enforcement. Though she's nothing of the sort. She was armed with her clipboard, smartphone, and an air of authority that could only mean trouble. For context, Karen had been obsessed with our property ever since we moved in. "Too empty," she would mutter about our land. "Not enough landscaping, not enough fences, not enough people." But what truly riled her up was our pets, our highly trained K-9s. She had never met them in action, only glimpsed them occasionally through our fences. And in her mind, any animal not coddled in a tiny backyard was a threat to the neighborhood. This Sunday, she took it upon herself to investigate. She scaled the low fence and entered the property without a knock or warning. I watched from the porch, incredulous, as she tiptoed toward the barn, muttering to herself about neglect and animal welfare. That's when my K-9 patrol team, a squad of trained dogs I personally oversee, picked up on the intruder's scent. These aren't ordinary pets. They are trained for security, search, and protection. Essentially a professional patrol unit. As Karen approached the barn, my lead dog, Rex, a massive German shepherd, blocked the doorway. His stance was firm but non-aggressive at first, a warning. Karen, oblivious to the breed, their training, and the professional work they do, waved her arms and shouted, "I'm here to protect the community. Step aside." She took a step closer, and that's when she triggered protocol. The K-9 team acted swiftly, surrounding her but keeping a safe perimeter. They growled, circled, and issued controlled intimidation signals. Rex barked sharply, then retreated to me when I called his command. It was all highly professional. No one got hurt, but Karen was utterly frozen, realizing she had walked into a situation far beyond her comprehension. I stepped forward calmly, hands raised. "Karen, this is private property. You have no right to enter." Her face flushed red, and she opened her mouth to lecture me about community safety. But I held up a hand. "And for the record, these aren't just pets. They're fully certified K-9 officers. Any unauthorized intrusion is considered trespassing." Karen froze. The words K-9 officers seemed to register slowly, her smug confidence melting into panic. She fumbled with her phone, probably to call the HOA board or, in her mind, the sheriff. I waited silently, letting the moment sink in. Then, still trying to assert authority, she said, "I could have you arrested for." I cut her off, smiling calmly. "Actually, Karen, you could be arrested for trespassing, harassment, and intimidation. And since my dogs are certified K-9 patrol, this isn't just theory. It's legally enforceable." By now, I had called the local sheriff's department, who arrived within minutes. Karen tried to explain herself, citing her duty to check on my animals. The deputies listened politely as she babbled, then asked me to show proof of the dog's certifications and training logs. I handed over the paperwork. One look and the deputies nodded. Karen's face turned a shade of disbelief I've never seen. She was trying to argue, but the reality was unarguable. She had broken into a private property, and the threatened animals were legitimate law enforcement K-9s. One of the deputies gently told her, "Ma'am, you need to step back. You've violated several laws today." Karen sputtered, but the decision was final. She was issued a citation for trespassing and harassment. The K-9s, sensing the tension was gone, returned to their relaxed positions around the barn. Rex nudged my hand, and the other dogs wagged their tails. My ranch had been defended without a single misstep, and Karen had learned, albeit the hard way, that there are boundaries even she cannot cross. As she was escorted back to her car, muttering about HOA rights and community vigilance, I shook my head. My K-9 team and I returned to our daily routine, the morning sun casting long shadows over the property. The land remained ours, safe and respected, and Karen, well, she would think twice before ever trying to check on my pets again. It was a reminder that sometimes, the most civilized people need a little law enforcement support to understand the rules. And sometimes, pets aren't just pets. They're protectors, guardians, and very effective teachers of humility.